What's going on, guys? Welcome back to KY Coins and Collectibles. And what I've got here is some of the last big collection that I had bought, and I'll link some of those videos up here. And the last couple videos I had done, I selected 2 winners whenever I got to 1,000 subscribers. I've got a couple winners, and I'm trying to get their stuff out to them, and I'm just now had time to do another video. So what I wanted to do in this video and a couple of videos to come is start doing a search video, like coin search and roll search, because I've got a bunch of $half that I need to go through, search for better dates, key dates, better condition ones. And I figure I'd start with this one. Out of that set, there was this container and this bag of nickels, and it looks like most of them are nickels. There's some, I've seen some more nickels, buffaloes, and regular nickels, and there's a few other surprises in there as well. I've seen a couple other things, maybe some V nickels as well. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to do kind of just a regular search, and I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to pour it all out and then organize it, and then just go through it a little better and try to find some better dates. So I appreciate y'all sticking with me. Let's go ahead. I'm going to dump this stuff out, and I've got my red book here just so I can see some of the mintages and some of the better dates, because I'm not too familiar with all my buffaloes. I know a few of them, the earlier ones, so it's good to have that handy, and my little magnifier here, loop, which my PCGS membership just renewed, so they sent me another package. Every time it renews, they send you a package, like a shirt, a book, and some submission forms, and they send you a loop as well, so that's pretty neat. So with that being said, for another video, I'm going to do an 8 coin submission. It'll probably end up being a 20 coin submission, but with that membership I have, they give you 8 free vouchers, which they're not free. You pay for it when you get the membership. So they give you 8 vouchers, and so when I'm going to try to do a video. I've got some coins. I've got about 20 or so I want to submit, and I'll probably do that in the next couple videos. I've just not had really a lot of time. The weather's been beautiful, so I've been outside all day. After work, we come home and we work on the garden or work around the house. That's why what we've been doing today is working in the garden all day. So the weather's been nice. We're trying to get stuff planted. So the only time I've got to work on this is when it gets dark and I come in. So just now I had time to get this video together. So we'll get started. I'll dump all this out so you can kind of see. I've not looked in this. I think these are all buffalo. There's not many in this, just a little bit there. But I thought this little canvas bag was nice. It's lead shot. So all these little canvas bags are really nice. So yeah, I like these old canvas bags, kind of like old bank bags. And actually there's more in here than I thought there was. There's actually a couple V nickels and regular nickels, actually a war nickel. So a good way to tell if you've got a war nickel that has silver in it, they start in 1942, and they go through 1945. In the 42s, this one's actually a 42. Some of the earlier part of 42, they're not silver. And the way you can tell if your 42 nickel has silver is the mint mark. So if you can tell, the mint mark is above the building here. And I don't know if there would be one in here that is not silver, but here's another one. It's a 43, but it's very easy to tell. Just look for the mint mark. Just as long as the mint mark's above the building, you'll be able to tell. Quick and easy. So I won't even sort that. I'm just going to dump this in with that. Some of these look wore, have pretty good wear on them, and buffalo nickels are notorious for that. They wear so easy, so we'll have to kind of battle with that through these. But buffalo nickels are so fun to collect. There's another war nickel. And the war nickels too, like always, they have this, like, they're a little darker tone to it. And you can just really tell, like, even from the side, if you compare this to a bunch of newer nickels, this will look a little darker, and it will just have a little different, like, shimmer to it. So it's a little easier to pick out. So let's dump this big bad boy out here. And I do not even know what's in here. Got a couple runaways. Oh man. So right off I see a dollar. Presidential dollar, and some Canadians. There's some 35, and of course you want to look for the three-legged buffalo, and that's going to be the 36D. So I'm going to try to go through this. Well, there's a silver quarter. 45, that's a good find. Bicentennial. There's always bicentennial quarters in these. There's actually a few. That's a 72. And here, this is a prime example of, I'm going to set some, I'm just going to go through some of this real fast, like, and then I'll probably cut the camera off and do a big sort, and then I'll bring you back. But while we're looking at it and just kind of seeing it as we go, I've got two quarters here. One's a 72, and then one is a nice 40 or 64. So one's silver and one's clad, and I'll show you a side-by-side comparison when you're looking. If you're looking for silver in your change or coin roll hunting, it's very easy to see. So when you open up that row, and I will put this other bicentennial on the side, the silver will be very white, like silver looking, whereas the one on the left and right here, you can see a little brown for the clad. So just, if you didn't know, they're easy to spot, and that one's very shiny, so that one's especially easier to see. So I'm going to set that. There's two silver quarters, a bicentennial, and a regular 72. That'll probably just get sent back to the bank. See what else we got in here. Some foreign stuff. 1954. 1945. Canadian. Some tokens. A little bit of everything in here. Some Canadian stuff. A lot of nickels. They all pretty much look like nickels, some form or fashion. Some V nickels. A lot of buffalo. A lot of. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so this is cool too. This is a Philippines. It is a 20 centavos, Philippines, United States of America. So during the war, we minted these coins for the Philippines. So that one's actually in pretty good shape. I like these Philippine coins that the U.S. made. So that one's really cool. Set that to the side. That's a good find. I like those. Just want to brush through here real fast, see if there's nothing. Here's a proof looking nickel. Now that stands out. Look at that. Now that'd been nice if that was a war nickel, but it is a 62 proof. That's very nice. That's pretty nice. And I've got a nickel set. It's a V nickel, a buffalo, and a I believe it's actually probably all three of them. So, and I've got all of them. I've got all the nickels except for I believe it's the 1913 S Type 2. Like, it's one of the harder ones to find. And I believe, yeah, the 13S variety 2. Yeah, that's the only one I do not have out of all of them. So I've got all the V nickels, all the Jeffersons, just missing that 13S. And there's some better condition ones in here. Like I said, I'm going to have to go through all these. And I'm not an expert on buffalo nickels. And I mean, I can tell which ones have better conditions, but I don't really know them that good. I mean, I know you're supposed to look for if it's got the horn. So if it's got the horn, it's in good shape. And obviously, like, these are two totally different condition ones. Like, this one is pretty slick on my left versus on the right. Still got some good hair detail and feather detail. So what I'm going to do, there's some nice Jeffersons in here. That one has really sharp edges. I want to spread these out up here. Put my Jeffersons there. Make a pile for the war nickels. Okay, guys. I don't see anything right off. There's some more. Okay, now that one, I don't know if that one's been, looks like it's been polished, but that's a 43. Yeah, that one's been polished hardcore, but it's a war nickel. Some more foreign coin. If I can hold on to it, I'll set those up there. Some V nickels, 1912. And I'll have to get the book out because I don't know my V nickels either. That one's got some nice toning on it. So there might be some good stuff in here. A lot of nice nickels. Some arcade tokens. Okay, guys, give me a quick second and I'll be right back, and I'll have all this sorted. If I come across something, I'll bring you back, okay? Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm not done yet, but I did find a couple of neat little things. I do have my pile of Jefferson nickels, my Buffaloes, and then my V nickels right here. But I did find, so far I found the three silver quarters, a lot of Canadian dimes. I did find a 25-cent centavos Mexican coin. It's pretty neat, a 1950. So that's really cool. I like the design with the two scales on it. So I don't think have come across one of those yet, but that's silver. And I did find, and I got really excited about this. I found two Mercury dimes. One is a 1939, and let me see here. I had turned to check that out, and the 39 isn't really a key date, but this other one, I checked it out, a 1916, and of course the 1916D is the key date of the series and the most expensive one. And I flipped it over, and it's hard to see, but there is a little mint mark. And I got my loop out and my magnifying glass, or my little scope I've got. I've checked it out. It is a 1916 S. So a little better date. It's not the D, but still a pretty good find. So I'm happy with that. So that's a good look. These two Mercury dimes have been nice little finds, and I'm very happy with the 16S. Now, if that had been a D, we'd have had a party. But we'll keep looking, and I'll bring you back if I find anything else. So just stay tuned. Okay, guys, I'm back. I've got everything sorted out, just kind of in its pile right now. We got Jefferson nickels over here, and there is quite a few, and there's honestly more war nickels than I thought there was going to be. There's a lot of newer nickels in there. There's a couple proofs, and there's some polished, but a pretty good pile of nickels, Jefferson nickels. Buffaloes, there's a pretty good amount of buffaloes right here. So that's a good pile of buffaloes. I come across a lot of better ones. Most of them were in the 30s. There's a few 20s. And I'll go through them and kind of sort them out. And I'll bring you back if I find anything. Most of them were newer, like I said, in the 30s, some later 20s. And then there were some that were better condition with a little bit of luster left. Here was 3 of them. These are in pretty good shape. So there's 3 in better shape, and that's just kind of 3 I seen at the end there. And I think they were all like 36, 37. I did not see any 3-legged buffaloes yet, and I had checked all the 36s, all the 36Ds, and let me jump to them real fast in my handy dandy red notebook. So the main ones I was looking for was the 36D, the 3-legged. That's definitely one we want to try to find. So I'm going to get all those out, and I'm going to go through them a little better. In the 37D 3-legged, it's really the 37D that's the 3-legged, and the 36D is the 3.5. So I kind of misspoke on that. the 37D is the three-legged, real three-legged, and the 36D is the 3.5. And I think they give a little example there. And then the three-legged one is totally like there's really no leg at all. So the 37, I've been looking for both, so I didn't see anything, but I'll skim through them again. And over here, there's not that many V-nickels, and honestly, most of them are pretty wore. Like that one's pretty slick. And they were common dates as well. I believe the key dates of those are like the last couple years and then the earlier years. So like the 12S, that's a key date. The 12S is a hard one to find. I believe it was the 94 is a good year. And then on over here, the 85 and the 86, them are key dates. And then, of course, the 83 with cents. So you can find it without cents a lot easier. You can find that one. And it's weird, too, because, like, look at the mintage. And I talked about this in another video. The 83 with cents, there's 16 million. 83 without cents, 5 million. So you'd kind of think like which one, I mean, just by looking at the mintage, you'd think it'd be the opposite. You'd think this would be $20 and then this one would be $7, but that's not the case. And I believe from what I had read, a lot of people hoarded up the V-nickels, like they had just airbay capped them. So like they really hoarded them up and capped them. So yeah, I'll look through these a little better, and I'll bring you back if I find anything, and then we'll wrap it up. And I found a Rosie. Now, like I said, I got the 2 Mercury dimes, 3 silver quarters, a bunch of Canadian, a couple tokens, and some more foreign stuff, a presidential dollar, and the U.S. Philippine coin, and then a couple regular quarters. So good little find. Good little finds. I'll pause it and I'll bring you right back if I find anything, okay? Okay, guys, I'm back. So I got all the V-nickels lined up down here at the bottom. The earliest one was 1897, and it's probably the best out of all of them. It's not the best condition, but probably the best date. So we've got a 1897, 1900, 1901, 1902, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no 9. There's no 1909, and it's a little harder date too. 1910, 1911, and then we had 2 1912s, but they were both Phillies, so no mint marks. They did make a Denver and a San Francisco, and out of the whole V-nickel series, they are the only 2 with mint marks, I believe. Yep. So that is the only 2 V-nickels they minted at a location other than the Philadelphia Mint. So when you're looking for your V-nickels, look for your 1912 S. That is one of the key dates. And the mint mark, I'll show you on the back, will be in the bottom left little corner. There's a little dot. It would be right under it. So right down here by the tip of my fingernail, bottom left. So just a little reference. Might be able to see a little dot better on this right there in the bottom corner. So that's where you want to look at on your V-nickels. But these are kind of the common years, and I've got a few rows of V-nickels, and honestly they look just like this. Like when I get V-nickels, they're all going to look like this. A lot of times they're wore, have really good wear on them, and they end up looking like that. A lot of times they're dirty too. Like they'll have this dirt like that one. But I kind of like it. It really makes the coin stand out in the features. So that one's not too bad. You can see a little bit of her hair. And a lot of them that I have, pretty much all of them are in this condition, like the very low grades. So they got heavily circulated. So that was all the V-nickels. I'm going to go through some of the Buffaloes, and if I find anything, I'll bring you back. I probably won't do the Jeffersons unless I find something, because there's really, look here, yeah, trying to sneak away on me. Not today. See, I'll have to make sure I look through them and got all of them. I'd looked over and that one was just staring at me. So I'm going to put those back. I'm going to go through these real fast and I'll bring you right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've got a few of them sorted. Down here I'm going like, these are 1930s through like 1937. These are the 20s, and this is the teen. I've only found one 1919, or that's the only year I found is 1919. So that's the earliest year so far. I have found a couple that are slick, and I believe they have the raised mound. So I may use that Nicodate, I believe what it's called. It works really well on the date if you want to try to bring the date out of a nickel. So a couple of those that I think are earlier Buffaloes, I may do that, like the 13s. But I brought you back for this one. I did find a 1914, which I guess I just told you the 1919 was the earliest. It's not. This I just found it, and it's a 1914, and I've got my scope here. See if I can get it on there so y'all can see it. There you go. 1914. And it is a filly, which it's a little better date. 20 million made, and it's got the G4 at $20. So I know it'd been better if it was a 14D or a S, but still. And it's not the 4/3 variety. I checked, and it's pretty rough shape, but still better find, probably the best find so far. And I've gone through a bunch of 36s and 37s. I have found some better condition ones, but I've not found any 3-legged or 3.5-legged varieties. So this one I'll probably slab it up because it's a little better date. It's a harder date to find. So I'm going to put that one off to the side, and I'll bring you back if I find anything else. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've got the scope pulled up, so you know it's good. I believe I found a good one, and I think it's the lowest mintage of the Buffaloes. I found a couple good ones already, but I think this one this one right here is the best one. It's the lowest mintage. I have found, I believe, let me see. I think this one is a 1920 S. So that one is a 1920 S. And that's a little better year. They've got about $10 on that one in the Red Book. That's a little better. And this 1914 I just showed you all, that's a really good one as well. But check this one out. I had to double, I looked at it quite a bit to make sure. Easy. So that's a 2 and a 6. I had to make sure it was a 6 instead of an 8. The 8 curves in kind of like a snowman. The 6 is like a straight line, like it loops and just goes straight down into it. So you see how it hooks around and comes straight down and then loops. So the 8 would go in and then around like a snowman. So that's a 6, 1926. And guess what the mint mark is? An S. Oh yeah. I'll get it make it look a little better. Yeah, an S. So in 1926 is the lowest mintage. 1926 S, 970,000. One of the key dates for the series. Starts at $30 in the Red Book. So, yeah, very excited about that. I can't believe it. That's an awesome find. And like, I still have like a whole pile to go through. And there were some lower dates in these as well that I just started looking through. But I can't believe that. An S. 1926. That's a good one. Excited about that one, guys. I just wanted to bring you back and show you all that one real fast, but I'll turn this off. The battery's about dead. I'm going to have to plug it in. I'll give you an update so far. Of course, a lot of 26s and 36s and 37s. These are all like in the 20s. 1919, and I believe this was a 1914. Yeah, just 1914 Philly, and I believe it's one of the earlier years. No, I don't. That's not a 1914. I may be telling you wrong. If it is, I didn't realize what it was because it's in better shape than the other one. Yeah. I just sat here and like said 1914. That's a good one. And I don't remember getting that one. It's in 1917. Okay. Yep. A little better. I just had it in the wrong spot. I believe I got 7s. These earlier dates are so hard to see. You really have to have a loop or a scope. So yeah, 1917, which it's a little better date. They've got it at like $8 here. But yeah. So I'm keeping my 3 good ones over here. Yeah, that one's a better date as well, but I'm still just trying to line them up. I'll go through a couple here real fast. That's a 26. And like I said, they're hard to see. Yep, 25s. And this is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of stacking them up as I go. And what I'll do is I'll look through these because they're hard to see, and I'm like having to get down and around the camera. So I'll check through these and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm finally done with the buffalo nickels. What I've got here is no dates and 36s and 37s, because I had a bunch of 36 and 37s. So I just kind of ran out of room and I just started throwing them in the no date pile. So I'll do a little recap. What I done was just put like 1920, 21. I don't think I had any 22s, which they didn't do a 22. That's why. So there's no 22s. Got 23s, 4s, 25s, 26, 27s, 28, 29s, 30, and then none between 30. I don't have the 30. I didn't get any 31s, which I think they only made a 31S, and it's got a key date. And then they picked back up in 34, 35, 36, 37s. So, and then in the teens, I had the 19, had a few 19s, and I had a 1918, and then 1917 it was. Yep, 1917. And these right here are my best finds. These 5 right here. So I had 2 1920 Ds, 1920D. These 2 are 1920 Ds. This was a 1920S. So these 1920s are good ones. So them are good, better dates. And then I had the 1914. The 1914, that's a good date. And the lowest mintage, this one was the 1926S, and that one had 970,000. So that was a good find. And like I said, the rest of these, they're just no dates, and a lot of them were like raised. They have the raised ground, so I know they're like 1913s. But you just can't make the dates out at all. So what I may do, some of the better ones, I may try to use the Nicodate to bring the date out, but I'll have to save that for another video. There was a lot. I had a bunch of better condition ones, and some of them had decent luster left on them. Like here's one right on top. My hands are nasty, really nasty now from going through all these. But yeah, there's a lot of good 1936s and 37s, and as you can see here, that's the majority of what they were. And I looked and looked and looked. There was no 3-legged buffaloes or 3.5-legged buffaloes. So I checked. Okay guys, as far as the Jeffersons, I just kind of pick out the silver nickels and separate the new ones, and that's really it. A lot of the newer stuff I'll just take back to the bank. I'll skim through them, put them in my silver nickel pile, and then that's really it. I don't really do much with my newer nickels, but everything else was pretty cool. These were good finds. That 1916S Mercury dime was really nice. A couple nice quarters, silver quarters, a couple bicentennial quarters, Canadians, and that's really it. It was just fun to go through all this. I appreciate y'all watching. I've got a few more videos coming out in the next few days, so just keep a lookout for those. I'm really liking these Buffalo nickels, and I think some of the key dates, I think that you'll see the prices start to jump on those, and especially in like better condition, because them earlier dates are just so hard to find in better condition. But I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks again for all the likes and the shares and the subscribers. Just keep it coming, and I'll keep making videos. So hope y'all have a good night and a good day tomorrow. Be safe, and I'll see y'all later.